Hey, this is Art and Such with part 1 of my tutorial for Peter Quill, or Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, to go with the rest of my series. And for the beard, I'm going to start by telling you about that. I used a brown Sharpie, a brown permanent marker, to draw on the scruff afterwards. And that is completely optional. For the body, I'm using brown, same color for the hair. If you have a kind of maroonish red, you might like to try that. The boots and the neck piece are black. The skin tone I'm using, it was the pale one from the skin tone set. I'm going to use pink in this tutorial though. And I will be using turquoise bands for the eyes, but if you have some beads that you like, you can do that. You are going to need your holding hook and your loom in the offset position with the middle row above the other two. I'm also going to be showing you at the end how to make the mask, which can be slipped over the head when you're done. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to do the arms first. I'll make both of them with you today. And for each arm, we're taking a single skin tone. I'm wrapping it 3 times onto the hook. And then we're going to pull it over 6 sets of double brown bands. So take 2 brown bands, put them on the end of your hook with a little tension, and bring your pinks over on top. Once that's centered a little bit, you can do your next 2 bands. Bring these bands over, put the other end back on. I'll show you one more time. 2 bands on the end, slide the other bands over, and put this piece back. And that's 3. We're going to do 3 more sets for this arm. And then we're going to repeat this all for the other side. And we can just leave this on the hook for the moment. We'll be attaching it soon enough. So other arm, same thing, a single wrapped 3 times. And we're going to pull that onto 6 sets of double brown. And one more to go after this. Alright, and then we can turn to our loom. On your loom, you're going to start with 2 single skin tone bands coming from your top center peg to your second peg in the center. We're going to be using double bands, or 2 bands per set, all the way down. So you're going to have 1 set of double black bands, second peg center to third peg center, and then come down 5 more times with double brown. Going down to the sides, you're going to be coming from your second center to your second right with a set of double, and then we go down 8 times on the side. This brings you to the 4th peg from the bottom of your loom, and you're going to finish the loom off with 3 sets of black. And the same thing on the left, come down second center to second left, 8 sets of brown, 3 sets of black. We can put our arms on. These are going on the second peg down on either side. And we can make some feet. I'll show you the first part, and then if you want it to be a little bit fancier, you can stick around here. I'm going to take 2 bands, wrap them twice or 3 times if you like onto the hook, and pull them onto 2 black bands. Now if you want, you can stop at this point and put on 1 or 2 more sets of black, and then tack it on the bottom. I want my boots to be a little bit thicker, so what I will do is repeat this. 2 singles wrapped 2 or 3 times. I'm going to pull it over 2 black bands. This is incidentally something from Kate Schultz's is Alicious. She makes really nice boots, so we're going to stick with that. You're going to take the first 2 bands and pull them over the top. And then what you're going to do is put your finger through these bands here and take it off the loom. Switch fingers. So grab the fingers that were on the other side and just flip it around. And then you'll take this bottom one and bring it over the top. Put that back. Okay, and we're going to put this onto the bottom peg. And we'll do the same for the other foot. 2 bands wrapped twice, pulled onto 2 bands, put the other end back, and repeat this. 2 bands wrapped twice, pulled onto 2. We're going to take the closer end of the first one off and over, put our finger inside here, take it off, twist it around so that we take it off the other finger and pull this other end over, back together and onto the loom. We need a couple of holding bands. So we're going to do single bands in a triangle formation. From our 3rd peg down to the 3rd peg down, raise it up above the 3rd peg in the center. We'll repeat this underneath, from the 4th to the 4th, again from the 5th to the 5th, 6th to the 6th, 7th to the 7th, and the last one we want a little bit tighter. So take a single, twist it around and onto itself. It's going to be a little bit tight, but we're going to put it over where this bottom band is, and then bring the bottom section up and over. Now we're ready to loop up. We're going to do this black piece last, so we'll start on our sides and then we'll do the center after. We pull back the foot, put the hook underneath and get that those black 2 bands on the bottom, lift them up and over the peg above, and we're going to continue looping up just like so. So with the the open part of your hook away from you, you're grabbing the bottom 2 going forward. When you get to this piece, you have a tight cap band. Push that back with the back of your hook and get the 2 bands. Push back, push down, and grab the bottom 2. And we're going to go right up to the shoulder peg and then loop inwards. And the last one is coming from under the arm. You're pushing that back and bringing it back to the 2nd peg in the center from whence it came. Let's go back to the bottom on the other side and repeat. Get under your foot, push those back, go underneath, and up, over, around. Come up the leg. We're going once more all the way to that arm peg, the 2nd one from the top. And push back this band here. Get your bottom ones, bring them forward. Try and show you the arm part a little bit better this time. So we want these 2 bands, which are coming from on top from the 2nd. You're going to come underneath, push back your other bands, get the bottom 2, and lift them out and over. And now we can loop up the center. So just grab your bottom bands, and there shouldn't really be anything in the way. We're just looping straight up, and we're going to go right to the top of the loom. And finally, reach under all of those bands, get your bottom 2 skin tone. They should be right at the bottom. And we're going to pull those up and remove this from the loom. You may wish to pull some of the tighter sections loose first, so that your bands don't get too stretched out and you don't have anything snapping or surprising you when you come to take the rest off. Put your hook through the skin tone bands and hold on to that, and we're going to take the rest off of the loom. So there's your body. Either side will work, just keep it on your hook, and I will see you back for part 2. We're going to do the head, the face, the eyes, and I will show you how to make the mask. Alright, thanks. See you for part 2.